What's up, guys? So this week I'm going to talk about another challenge, obstacle, hurdle I've had to overcome, still am working on overcoming, and that is the lack of a strong network. I mean this in multiple ways. I mean this in not knowing any designers or engineers. I mean this in not knowing many other CEOs who are starting similar types of companies. And even in the sense of investors, not having a network of investors that I could easily go and pitch to. Let's go over here, it's bright as hell. But you know, a lot of people will use this as kind of an excuse to stop. Well, I don't know anybody who can build an app, so okay, so I'm just not going to build an app. I don't know any investors, I can't raise money, what am I going to do? Just stop there. It's undoubtedly tougher, that's why I'm bringing it up as a challenge, but it's definitely possible to get past. The way that I got past design and engineering, not knowing people who designed and engineered, is by using online forums. So in a funny way, the internet has helped me, even with that I'm talking everything from, seeing designs on Dribbble or Mobbin. I've already mentioned Meng's, design code course. These have been incredibly valuable. On the engineering side, of course, everybody knows Stack Overflow, but also Paul Hudson's Hacking with Swift. The composable architecture, the guys from that, from Point Free. This has been, this journey has kind of brought all these different characters along, and the internet allows you to take advantage of pretty much anyone in the world who has expertise in something. And so if you really want to learn, you have a hunger for learning, and you're willing to search, you can find the best in the world at what you're looking to do, and learn directly from them. And so I don't know how it would compare. Let's say I had a bunch of friends who were engineers. I don't know how it would compare to that. I would assume obviously at the beginning it would be easier, but over time I don't necessarily know. When you get into things with either with a group of people or you have one mentor that you follow, you tend to adapt or adopt the same mental models that they have. You kind of fall under their framework, and which can be a good thing if it's a really effective framework, but ultimately it's kind of a cap. At a certain point, you're going to have to think beyond that framework in order to kind of elevate your own level. Most never do that. Most kind of just, accept whatever frameworks have been provided to them by their teachers, mentors, peers, what have you. Anyway, I think that, learning on your own and taking bits and pieces from a bunch of different people is definitely valuable and pays off even more in the long run. As it comes to investors, I look at that as kind of a separate category from the knowledge-based, how can we build this product? That's part of design and engineering. On the investment side, I spent so long looking for investment, trying to find investment, and then I realized I'm playing the wrong game. That's not the investment doesn't help. Investment doesn't help you build a great business. It can accelerate you building a great business. Where I shouldn't say it doesn't help. It doesn't automatically make you create a great business. It can help. It can accelerate. But you need to have the foundation set. You need to have a great team. You need to have a great product. You need to have a plan for distribution. If you don't have these things in place, no amount of money is going to save you. Unless you're literally paying people to sign up, and even then it's not a business. So you got to have the base pieces in place, and when that happens, you'll find you have a lot more leverage with the investors themselves. It's a lot easier. You send those emails, you'll get those responses back. They'll often come to you and try to reach out to you directly. It just shifts the whole dynamic of, rather than having to ask for money, you're kind of dictating the terms of how things go down. So not having this circle, not having this network has forced me to kind of do things myself, which was much tougher in the short run, but in the long run I think makes me a lot more capable. If I just partnered with or hired a designer or engineer, I wouldn't know 90% of the things that I know now that have kind of shaped how I want to build this company. Same thing with investment. If I just gotten investment money, I would have thrown it away because I didn't know exactly how to execute on that. Now that I've been forced to kind of do things myself, as those things come, if those things come, when they come, I'll be able to take better advantage of them. So what did I do this week? The first thing I did was I finished up settings, got all of the settings logic in place, got the view in place. I even combined edit profile with settings just to make it easier from the user's perspective. Everything is done through settings rather than having a separate user profile or edit profile page. So settings, finished up edit profile, same type of thing, did the logic and set up the view for it as well. And then the final thing I did, which was my wild card, was set up the username uniqueness checkpoint. So basically, we need a checkpoint, or an endpoint, I should say, where the user sends their username. For example, you come to the sign up, we send the username to that endpoint. Check, does anybody else in the database hold this particular username? If it's valid and nobody else holds it, perfect. They'll send us, success back, and user can sign up with that username. So what am I going to work on next week? First is going to be to set up a search endpoint. So an endpoint where we can send requests with some sort of query string, and then it searches for either users by their first name, last name, or username, as well as for topics by the topic name. And it'll kind of be a unified search. We could have had individual searches like just for users or just for topics, but combining them allows us to give a better user experience on the front end. Second thing will be setting up HTTPS, so a secure server. Right now everything is kind of open, which is fine for development, but once you get to production you want to have a secure server, so set that up. And then final thing, wildcard. As always, I'll fill you guys in next week. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. I'll check in with you guys next week.